Mr. Dodd's Adventures.
Where were you yesterday, Brian?
I was in Chester, I do believe.
Why weren't you teaching in Neston High School?
But it was a Saturday.
I don't care. You should have been behind your desk where you belong.
Do you mind if I ask a personal question?
Go right ahead. See if it fazes me.
Haven't you gained a little weight?
Well, I try to enjoy my weekends, unlike you, Dodd.
But was it really necessary to have a whole van full of food?
I don't know what you're talking about, but I don't like where you're going with this, Dodd. In fact, any more mouth from you on this matter, and I'll have you teaching delinquents for the rest of your days.
Oh no, please don't make me do that. They throw Bunsen burners right at my temple.
Well, if you would kindly watch your mouth in future, and keep your weekend observations of me to yourself, if you would be so kind.
Yes, sir.
Now, don't you have a class to teach?
Yes, I do believe I'm taking chemistry today.
Well, in that case, would you mind decluttering yourself out of my office? I am a busy man. I have people to expel, you know.
Yes, of course. I will see you later.
Hello, it's me, Mark. So, yes, as we can see, Mr. Dodd shuffles his aging body down to the chemistry lab, where he is greeted with a scene that looks like something out of a horror movie. On his way down there, he meets an old friend.
Brian Dodd? Is that you? You haven't changed a bit. Well, you have.
Patrick, how are you doing? Are you still teaching English?
Yes, unfortunately I still am. Do you want to know the one thing that I've learned through all my years of teaching on the subject?
And what is that?
Nobody gives a shit about Shakespeare.
On the contrary, where I am concerned, I have nothing but love and admiration for the man and his literary works.
What's happened to you? You were cool, man.
What is that chanting my hearing aid is picking up? Fuck you, Phil?
Before you stick your oar in with my class, take a listen to the commotion coming from yours. Boring, boring, boring.
Oh my God, so there is. Thank you very much for your observation, Patrick. What is the meaning of this? Please, cease! Who started this? I want to know now, so I can take you to Mr. Peach's office immediately, where he will expel your anuses from this high school institution! Come on! Own up! Wait, I don't even have to guess. It was you, wasn't it, Bruno?
Yeah? So what if it was? What are you gonna do about it?
I just said. Now get your asses up, all of you, and come with me to Mr. Peach's office. You must all follow me in single file. Hop, 2, 3, 4. Hop, 2, 3, 4. Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
Did Dodd get out of the wrong side of the bed this morning? I have never heard him shout like that before. Oh, my goodness, what a raging lunatic. Or has the Bunsen burner that probably cracked his skull affected his mind in some way? Anyway, as Mr. Dodd takes his troublesome students to Peach's office, he knocks on his office door and walks in.
Mr. Peach, sir, I have some students here who have started a food fight. A banana has just cracked my glasses.
I can see that I'm stuffing my face, Dodd. I'm eating an apple crumble here, with chocolate syrup and mashed potato. God, there's fucking students! Wait!
Yes, but they're...
Silence! Just get out the horsewhip and put them in their place. I'll decide if I will expel them later. Now, if you don't mind, my 40-inch pepperoni pizza is getting cold.
Sir, I do have one more question. Is this actually your office or a refrigerator?
I said, get out!
Now, students, that was a close one. You'll think next time you try to get the better of me in my own classroom. Now, I want you to get your books out and turn to page 1003. And then I want you to copy down your thoughts on the viability of uranium if it were to come into contact with plutonium. Now, I don't want you to just stare into the blackboard like confused blackbirds. I want you to get your A4 pads and write me 1,000 words on the volatility of these chemicals by the end of class. Why are you looking at me like that, Bruno?
I don't know, do I? I'm not doing that.
Have you brought your A1 paper?
Do I look fucking arsed?
Watch your language, young man.
Fuck off!
Right, that's it, Bruno. Get out.
But why, sir? What have I done wrong? Why are you sending me out?
Because you are a dickhead. Now take these chemicals outside. You can do your experiment in the corridor.
Whatever.
Are you sure you know how to handle plutonium and uranium?
Of course I do. Do I look thick or something?
What are you doing with that equipment, Timmy?
Well, according to the worksheet provided us with just moments ago, the parameters of what we should be occupying our good selves with today should take the form of a scientific experiment. So I have placed these tubes down this Bunsen burner under my arm in readiness, sir.
Well, I don't care if you are the brightest bulb in this school. Quite frankly, I don't trust you, Timmy. Now, please put the equipment down till I damn well say that you can touch it.
Is this tube meant for sucking things with?
Goodness gracious, Buddha! No, Billy, you dunce. That will suffocate your innards, and then I will be sued by your gravestone. Read your damn worksheet, and maybe you will retain some knowledge of what the fuck you are doing.
Perhaps it would be pertinent if I would lend a hand to my fellow classmate here, as it were.
Yes, whatever. Just do it quietly. Now, I want this experiment completed before the end of today's lecture. Graham, also known as the No-Show, has been forced to do this experiment at home, seeing as he has chosen never to grace us with his presence. Now get to work whilst I write some notes on the blackboard and correct my own spelling.
The so-called students of Mr. Dodd's class get to work on their experiments. Not that it matters. Billy takes a test tube and tries to stick it into a Bunsen burner. Not a good idea, if you ask me. And he sticks it in like it's a piece of a jigsaw puzzle. Timmy the nerd takes it off him and completes the experiment himself, whilst Billy sits in a corner and reads a comic book. He reads for half an hour and then he stuffs the comic book back in his trouser pocket and picks up some uranium whilst nobody is looking. It is just after this moment that Mr. Dodd looks up from his copy of his Daily Mail and notices on the wall clock that his class will soon be over.
Right, my esteemed pupils, we haven't got much time, so put down your experiments and present them to me, please, at the front of the class. If any are incomplete, then I apologise, but I will have to throw them in the bin.
It's me again, the narrator. Mr. Dodd has noticed an experiment at the other side of the class, and it is not the one Timmy has been making.
That is excellent work, Timmy. A fine example of student work completed on a thoroughly scientific afternoon.
Oh, this? I can concoct these structures at any time of my choosing. It is nothing, sir. Truly nothing. Here you go. One for you to put on public visual display as an example of high work, as you understand.
I wasn't talking about that experiment, young man. That is too perfect for a man like me. I can only give you a D-. I was talking about this one.
You can be rest assured that it is not my experiment. This, from what I can ascertain from my eyesight, is the work of Billy. It is just some uranium that's been pushed down a tube.
And it is perfectly simple and does a simple job splendidly. I must say, good work, Billy. I take great pleasure in awarding you an A star for this. But that's only because that's as high as my grades go. Otherwise, I would have graded you even higher.
But sir, if you don't mind me surmising, this situation can only be described as preposterous.
Don't be silly, young man. Billy has produced a perfect demonstration of his scientific abilities here.
Yeah, I made it so it works like this.
Let's expose uranium. Oh no, Aim!
Oh dear!
Oh, fuck, my shirt burns!
You stupid little ponce! You shouldn't even be allowed to say the word science, let alone practice it in my wretched lab. Consider yourself expelled until tomorrow. Now you can do over this experiment to make up for the ungodly remains that have scattered themselves across my floor. Now by the time I get my spectacles back on, I want you to be out of their sights. I'm starting to remember something. Timmy, what have I just remembered?
I am currently at a loss to read your mind at exactly the time you think out your thoughts. But if I was to give you an educated guess, and that is what I am doing, I do so believe, you dispatched Bruno out of the corridor to complete the experiment away from us, the more studious persons of this class.
Oh yes, I wonder how he's doing.
I'm sorry. I was just taking a brief nap. After all, that is the kind of effect that Mr. Dodd has on people. Right, where's my... God, it must be here somewhere. Here it is! The one with the coffee stain on it. Bruno, meanwhile, is out in the corridor attempting his side of the experiment. He is doing things with exposed uranium that they don't even allow in nuclear power stations. My God, we're in trouble. I don't have a fucking clue! How does that knobhead Mr. Dodd do it? Oh, well, I'll just mix this chemical with this one, and this large one with this one, and... Oh, shit! Is it supposed to do that? Now, in Mr. Field's class...
To be or not to be? That is the question. Now enjoy your weekend, students. I'm sure that you'll have a blast.
Oh, don't worry. I'll fix it later, Patrick. My cousin's a builder. He lives in Heswell.
You always were an incompetent little tosser, Brian.
Characters in this episode do not represent people in real life.